Yo, what's happening? Alright, today what I want to do is tell you about the ways that I've contributed to the vegan movement in the last 3 years. So I've been vegan nearly 3 years in one more week, but I feel like I've done quite a bit in that time, and I want to share it with you today. And the reason why I want to share it with you is because next year I'm going to be doing something a little different. And I want you to have confidence in me that what I'm doing is for all the right reasons. And so it might look like I'm almost dropping the ball or bailing it a little bit, bailing my activism a little bit, but nothing could be further from the truth. And I'm just going to be doing what I feel is best to take my contribution from here to here. So I'm going to explain that later in this vid, what I'm going to be doing. But what I want to start with is telling you what I've done so that you can have confidence in me. You know where my heart is, you know how passionate and committed I am to this, and that way I hope that you'll believe in me and my choices for what I'm going to do next year. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so it started like this. The first thing I did was got educated, man. The first thing I did was read a whole bunch of books on animal rights theory and on the conditions and what's happening to animals and all that kind of stuff. I read a bunch of books, I watched a bunch of docos, I spent my Saturday nights doing this, this was just kind of my new passion that I needed to fully understand, because I understood that an educated activist can be the most effective activists. After that, I started my vow of silence. So I took a 1-year vow of silence, which means I didn't speak for an entire year to raise awareness for animals and promote peace over violence. And during that year, I travelled around Australia. The first major significant thing that happened was when I was volunteering at a rescue farm, and I looked after a bobby calf. His name is Rupert, and I spent about 6 weeks with him, nursing him and looking after him. And during this whole year, I was blogging about it. Like every single day, I'd write a blog about where I was at, what I was doing, what I was learning about veganism and spreading this message, and writing this blog constantly. The next major significant thing that happened during that year was that my van broke down, and instead of getting another car or something like that, I ended up cycling 5,000 kilometers from Darwin to Sydney. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because I wanted to show people that you can be healthy and do athletic things as a vegan. So I just wanted to break that vegans are wusses, unhealthy, sickly kind of stereotype. I travelled to Bali during that year, and I got my arms covered in animal rights tattoos. So basically the tattoos tell the whole story of veganism. All someone needs to do is ask me what one of them is about, and I'll end up telling them what they all say, what they all represent. So after that, when I spoke for the first time, when I broke my vow of silence, that was on Australia's most popular morning TV show. It's called Sunrise, and that video of me breaking my vow of silence was of me saying a very heartfelt and strong plea for veganism, for respect for animals, for humanity to start living in alignment with their values, of kindness and compassion and respect, and aligning those values with their actions. So that interview went viral. It was seen by millions of people all around the world. It got on news on different countries, and it copped a lot of media attention, man. It was kind of something that had not really been done before, and it was an action that got a lot of publicity. Since then, I've been contacted by thousands of people who've been inspired to go vegan or make changes or learn more, since doing that. And what that also did was open up a new avenue for me to be spreading a message in a new way, using my voice. People started asking me, can you come here, can you come there, please give a speech, please give a speech. So for the next 2 years, which is pretty much up to this point, I've travelled all around Australia, different parts of the world, Norway, India, Indonesia, and I've given over 100 talks, all for free. I have never made one single dollar from my talks. I've given these talks all for free about veganism. The first year was mainly about how to go vegan, why to go vegan. The second year, the main types of talk I did were two vegans about how to spread the vegan message and why vegans should be active in spreading this message. One of these speeches, in fact, the first time I did my speech to other vegans offering advice on how to spread this vegan message, the first time I did it, it went so well. And I titled that speech, "This speech is your wake-up call." That speech has been seen, as far as I know, well over 100,000 times now. And people are putting this speech right up there with some of the greatest vegan speeches, animal rights speeches that are around, that have existed. Which for me is phenomenal. Like it blows my mind, you know, that I've just been vegan not even 3 years yet, and you know, a lot of people have contacted me saying that it's the best speech on veganism that they've ever seen, you know, like that blows my mind. And I'm so happy that this speech is out there and will just, you know, continue to be seen. I think it's a good speech. Even I get inspired when I watch it. I'm like, man, did I say that? That's good. So I feel like it's a good speech, and it's one of my proudest contributions to this movement. When I was in India and I was doing speeches over there, I got interviewed by one of the local newspapers, and I got the first ever article in a newspaper that was anti-dairy. The newspaper article was titled, "Dairy is a crime against cows," because cows are sacred in India. And this newspaper, which is read by hundreds of thousands at least people every single day, this article in this newspaper, man, it caused so much controversy. All the universities that I'd spoken at had to pretend that I didn't speak there. Like no, he didn't come here. And they wanted to sue me over it. They were still talking about it apparently for weeks. Like in the town, they were still talking about this anti-dairy newspaper. Nothing like that had ever been put out there in India in that newspaper before. So that was also a proud accomplishment. A couple of months ago, I created a campaign called Think 24, which is a 24-hour tattoo challenge with ink to make you think. So there was 5 other vegans and me, 3 tattooers, 3 people getting tattooed. We all went for 24 hours straight getting tattooed. So it was a massive, like it was a lot of suffering, man. It was a lot of pain. And, you know, even just staying awake that long, it was hard, man. But we did it. We live streamed the entire thing, and you know, tens of thousands of people watched those live streams. We were talking about veganism, we were planting a lot of seeds, and we raised $20,000 for 3 charities. So it was a really effective campaign. It was a lot of fun. Got some sweet new tattoos out of it, and yeah, it was a good one. During all this time, you know, these last few years, I've posted every single day, apart from 1 or 2, on Facebook, Instagram. I've made a bunch of YouTube videos, so I've posted thousands of times, and I've replied to thousands of messages, like private messages, emails. I've done countless interviews on the radio, Skype, you know, just email stuff. Like, it's all my time, man. It's taken all my time. Responding to comment section. If you're on my Facebook, you'll see that I get into discussions on this stuff for days, every single week, like constantly. I reckon I would have done tens of thousands of replies to comments trying to educate and encourage people to move towards a compassionate way of life. So, man, like I said, the reason why I wanted to tell you all that is because I want you to know how dedicated I am to this. My last 3 years, I've lived it, I've breathed it, I've got out there. You know, I've done the street activism, I've been on the streets, I've rescued hundreds of animals from factory farms. I've done everything I could possibly think of to try to help animals and spread the vegan message. And when I wasn't directly doing something, I was thinking about how to do something. What else can we do? What can I do? So I've gone hard, man, so hard, and I've burned out a lot of times because I've had no balance, man. I stopped going to the gym, I stopped hanging out with my mates, I stopped reading books, I stopped watching movies, I stopped chilling, I stopped listening to music, I stopped surfing, I stopped cycling, I stopped everything. I stopped being me. you know, so I could just be 100% vegan activist, because I had an epiphany moment one time when I was in a factory farm that some things in life are more important than your own, and I'm happy enough, and I don't really care about my happiness, you know, growing in my happiness anymore. I care more about lifting the bottom up, and that has been my headspace for this 3 years. That's why I've sacrificed everything, and that is why I've done so much, you know. And I'm stoked, and I would not change it for a second. I would not change any of that for a second. But to move forward, to go from here to here, something has to change, because I'm burning out all the time, and I feel like I can contribute more in another way. Because what I need to do is have more balance in my life. I need to start surfing again. I need to start reading normal books again. I need to start watching a movie here and there. I need to start going back to the gym and getting fit and healthy and strong. I think what's so important right now for this vegan movement, and a way that I can contribute to moving it forward that little bit more with just my own little way, is showing that vegans are also totally normal, man. Totally chilling. We surf, we skate, we party, we whatever. We're just normal. We're not hectic extremists that only obsess about animal rights every single second of every single day. You know, like for me, if I wasn't vegan, I was looking at that, I'd be like, man, they're so on this animal thing. Like, don't they do anything else? I don't want to do that. I like my life. And I want to make this appealing. And so what my plan is for next year, drop it. Not completely. I've got heaps of speeches booked. I'm still going to be posting every single day, but I'm going to be posting less about veganism. I feel like it's a less is more thing. I drop it a little bit, you know, post some more just positive stuff, just different things. It doesn't always have to be about veganism. My videos on YouTube, I'm going to be doing more vlogs. I'm going to be doing more just, you know, normal life stuff, man, because I want to engage everyone else. I want to engage vegans as well, but I want to engage the people that aren't vegan. And to do that, they're not getting engaged with every single day vegan message. You got to be like, surfing, food, watched this movie, read this cool thing, here's a mad quote, vegan. And then do this and do that, and went partying, traveled here, vegan. Subtle, man, a little bit more subtle, you know, and it feels counterintuitive, like, oh, I'm not going to be saying vegan as much, I'm not going to be spreading this message as much, but I truly believe that less is going to be more, because just being that normal chilling dude that I actually am, I feel like I can, man, just attract more people who aren't vegan. That's what I think is the best way I can spend my next year, being a more chilling, normal dude. Not like vegan activist James Aspey. I'm still gonna be that, but like a ninja activist. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so that's it, man. So I just really wanted to fill you in with that. My next videos, maybe there'll be a couple more ones that I've already got ready that I'll post, that, you know, aren't really the style I've been talking about moving into, but they're coming, man. More vlogs, more chilling, more just me, man, that anyone can enjoy. You don't have to be vegan for it. And I hope that this is gonna be, you know, pave the way for another great year of contributing to the vegan movement. Give me a year, man. Let me show you what I can do in a year. You know, I'm not 100% sure this is the way, and if it's not, I'll bail it. But I'm going to give it a solid crack. I'm going to give it a year. I'm feeling it, and I feel like this could be a really good thing. So I hope you'll stay with me for that. Thank you everyone who watches these videos and comments all your supportive stuff. I read every single one of them, and I appreciate every single one of them, even though I don't get to write back to them all. But I very much appreciate all your support as well, and your encouragement, and just, yeah, sticking by me, man. You know, that's what we should all be doing. We should all be sticking together, lifting each other up, supporting each other, encouraging each other. And I see a lot of that on my channel. So thank you all very much. To the next chapter. Happy New Year if I don't speak to you again before then. It's going to be big, man. So set some goals, make it good. And yeah, man, let's all do it. Peace.